Welcome to Booger's Drive-In Theater Podcast, and today we will be talking about Ya-yo, dreamin', don't give it up Luffy, dreamin', don't give it up Zorro, dreamin', don't give it up Nami, dreamin', don't give it up, nah! Okay, bad bit. So, we will be talking about One Piece, specifically the manga, and our favorite arcs and our favorite moments. Today I have, two childhood best friends who are huge One Piece fans. They run, or used to run YouTube channels called Borkymarp, which is Bjork, or my friend Caleb. Say hi.
Hello.
And then, Zeldafan 375, aka Tim, say hi.
Yo.
And, they're huge One Piece fans. I've always wanted to do a podcast episode with them because they're, childhood friends and we like anime and shit. So, I want to briefly introduce yourself and I guess what you used to do on YouTube and what you got and how you guys got into One Piece or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Sorry, I guess I should have asked if you wanted to go first, but...
Oh, you can go first.
Okay. My channel, I just kind of fuck around. Not much to say. It's literally just random stuff. And, I got into One Piece because, me and Tim here, he wanted to show it to me, so we'd watch it all the time. Like, we'd hang out and watch it, and,
greatest decision I have ever fucking...
Yeah, I was hesitant to watch it, because as a kid, I saw the 4Kids dub first, and thought it was like that. But thankfully, I was proven wrong, and it was actually really good, and I got really into it, once it got to Arlong Park. That's like really the arc that got me crazy about it. But yeah. That is it.
Yeah, you can go on, Tim.
Oh, shit, it's my turn? My bad. I got into One Piece on my, not my most recent one, because that was with Caleb, but the one before it. I was in Texas and had literally nothing to do while sitting at my job, so I turned on One Piece and watched English dub while it was still on Netflix, and watched until halfway through the lobby and then switched sub. And then it was pretty good. I was hooked from probably episode 1 when decks Alvida so hard she goes flying. That shit made me laugh so hard.
Honestly, yeah, when he jumped out of the barrel, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's like, revised my nature a little. I love when he jumped out of the barrel, but...
Yeah.
The barrel might be my...
But yeah, for me, I got into One Piece, I think, I was around, 8, maybe 7, I want to say, 8 years old. It was mainly when I had the DVDs of the One Piece 4Kids dub. That's actually what got me into One Piece. But yeah, it was kind of in the same time I was big into Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Naruto. And since One Piece was about pirates and shit, and I loved pirates as a kid, that got me hooked into it. And so and then, I've, read, the manga. I started reading the manga right when, I think, Punk Hazard, was new. Punk Hazard, which I think 2011, 2012, most likely 2012. And I became a fan ever since. Now, so let's talk about One Piece. So I'll begin with my first subject, which is about Zoro's arc. Zoro's core goal and the core of who he is he wants to be the strongest swordsman. I mean, it later becomes something more. I mean, yeah, he wants to join Luffy's to find the One Piece because it would help him become the strongest. But but it was like kind of like proved to his childhood friend I forgot the name of, and so but yeah. But it became something more. Like he did it for his teammates. He did it out of like altruism, etc. Later on, but I think like the true moment where he like became started fighting something more than just like to become the strongest swordsman, as well as like kind of becoming a better swordsman is like the Dracula Mihawk fight, to where after Dracula Mihawk like literally like fucking hammered him, on their first round, but also like he beat him, and that's like kind of like, and I think that's because like him working with Luffy and the other crew members forced him to think out of the box. And also in like the Thriller Bark arc, the Ryuma fight, I really do think how he teamed up with Frankie. I actually think like that's actually the moment where like it tests like Zorro, like how he kind of like fights with teaming up with others and his skill with that. And also I think like Ryuma being one of like Zorro's ancestors, and since like strong, being the best and being a swordsman, and get the skill of that, and the competition of that comes within like Zorro's bloodline. And I actually think Ryuma, being one of Zorro's ancestors, fighting that is like sort of like symbolic, as well as we see like his fight with Inu or Enel or however you say his name. In which we actually know
now?
Yeah, the sky guy. Inu, yeah. We actually, we actually fucking see like Zorro's like skills being tested, with that in the cosmic sense. Oh yeah, and I also like how like even when Zorro like actually grew like a stronger fighter, like if you guys remember like the Monet fight and like Punk Hazard, like like Zorro like still like literally like without mercy like fucking sliced through like Monet. And like we were talking about how like unlike with Avatar, like One Piece is not as like liberal to where the characters are like less forgiving, and I actually like how throughout the story like Zorro does not lose his like lethal style, but also
he's all kill or no kill.
Yeah, but also like and also like what makes him a compelling character is that because he admired this person, and who he wanted to surpass, and because it's like deep within his bloodline, it shaped up becoming the strongest is who he is, and so it's all or nothing, like when it comes to him, and he's willing to like do that, even like slicing Monet in half. But also like but that actually like but that actually changes, and there was like more sides to him, to where like compared to like Luffy, he's like more like the logical side, and also and we see like a new side with like Usopp and Sanji, especially Sanji, like Zoro's no nonsense personality clashing with Sanji. That didn't happen up until Zorro met Luffy, to where there was more to him than just kind of like being the strongest guy, and actually that's actually kind of like what I found like ingenious, and actually find him like a compelling like the most rich One Piece character, and and slowly but surely, and even like as with like the Zoro's versus Sanji fights, like we actually like those are hints of like Zorro slowly but surely growing more heroic, and also like like especially if you kind of like like consider like the Ryuma fight, like Zorro without and it kind of like goes on with like One Piece's themes of community, but like what makes Luffy like Zorro a good foil to Luffy or a good Lancer is that Zorro is like pure individuality, but as we see time and time again, Zorro cannot function, especially since he's a bad navigator, without the Straw Hat crew. So so that's actually
Man could get lost inside of a paper bag.
Yeah.
Even without not even counting his navigation skills, like he lacks some basic common sense sometimes, and it's great.
Yeah.
Like,
it kind of like makes me want to like scream at him for kind of like being the no nonsense guy with like Luffy going headstrong. Like, okay, you're one to talk. Like in Drumhead.
yeah. That's why they needed Sanji, because at least he has like more of a brain than the other two in the monster trio.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that Nami is always there, because if she wasn't, those idiots probably wouldn't have made it out of the...
Right. Like, it's explicitly stated, I think, by Oda, or at least, like, it's implied in the anime, like, they would have all died several times if they did not have, like, Nami or Usopp or any of the other crew members that get discounted by the Phantom.
Luffy would not be where he is at if not for his crewmates, but also because Nami wasn't as good of a navigator as she was and knew all about the weather. They would have died before making it to the world. They wouldn't have been able to make it up Earth Mountain.
Also, something I don't like about post-time skip One Piece, that pre-time skip, it wasn't as big of an issue, was, I know it's a shonen, so it inevitably would have this issue, but, like, the blood thing, like, Zorro is related to Ryuma, and, like, he has great swordsman in his genes, and then, like, Luffy is a reincarnation of a god, and it's I don't care for that, because I like the idea of them being like bum ass losers, like nobody, not losers, but like nobody,
like some random village bumpkin showing up and be like, "Oh hey, I'm just really good at what I do."
Well, because that's what the comedy of like the first half was like. Everyone had these elaborate plans and all this setup, and then this random fucking kid with a straw hat comes and just punches him in the face, and it's all over. Like, it just all unraveled instantly.
Oh yeah, this friend citizen gave me like a stick of meat, and now I have to kick your ass. Cool.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I feel like, even with like the crocodile fight with like him, with like Luffy, like how Luffy is like an out of the box thinker with his like gum fruit. I think like that kind of like shows Luffy has potential and that there's more to Luffy. Especially since like Shanks in particular gave him the straw hat and wanted to carry his journey. I do think people do exaggerate. How like cause I don't really think like like Luffy kind of like being the chosen one or like a reincarnation of a god, like as big of like a curtain. It's kind of like as big of a tone shift, because like I do think like, well, there was sort of a reason why Shanks chose like Luffy early on. Shanks being this great pirate.
Wasn't it because he ate the gum fruit and Shanks knew what the gum fruit actually was? So like, all right, cool, mate. Here's your straw hat.
I don't know. I figured like Shanks would do that more than just. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like Shanks would just like do it because you have like a gum fruit or whatever. Especially if you watch film Red. But I don't know.
We have not
tried the idea of him giving it to a random kid is really funny to me, though. Like, it just implies that he is insane.
Oh yeah, this kid just ate some random fruit off my pirate ship. You know what, kid? You've got balls. Have a hat.
This suicidal kid who, like, is willing to run into cannons and swords and shit will definitely not just drown in the ocean if you give him the rubber fruit.
Yeah.
Like, stabbed himself in the eye in order to prove himself, missed his eye, gave himself a killer-ass fucking scar, and then goes like, I'm proof enough to be a pirate, and Shanks just blasts his fucking ass off.
But yeah, I have like more points. Yeah, so like why I think like why it makes sense with like Luffy to be like kind of like the incarnation. But I guess I gotta like read early like time skip like Romance Dawn shit and maybe I'll probably like make a blog or a tweet that's like a follow up to this, or maybe a video explaining why Luffy, isn't like being a reincarnation of a god is not like a time shift. But I'm pretty sure there's like a valid YouTube video essay covering it.
There should be. My thing is like,
Wait, hold on.
not
I don't think. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I just thought of something. I don't think that Luffy was the reincarnation. I thought he just was the embodiment of freedom.
Yeah.
Because of how he acted.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
he ate the fruit. He ate the Nika fruit, and it
Luffy
seems
was
to
the
match
exact way he was after the Nika fruit prior to.
Well, that's
Like
kind
he
of
was
my
just
thing.
as
Is
erratic.
I don't like the idea of like the fruit chooses the person, and they match all the qualities of the fruit. Like it's kind of. I mean, coincidental like storytelling is always like kind of an irk for me.
Mhm.
I mean, Zoan type devil fruits having their own soul and being able to make is kind of cool as fuck to me. For two reasons. For one, this random fucking god looked at some random toddler and was like, "Hell yeah, that's my reincarnation." That's fucking hilarious. Second of
Yeah,
all,
just random ass kid.
whenever Momo eats the copy of the dragon fruit, it's just sitting there. He was able to eat it with no problem, and came the second dragon. I'm floating over here thinking, hold on, you're telling me that this super powerful Zoan devil fruit was duplicated by the smartest man in the entire world, and it just sat there? Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way that the fruit wasn't like, all right, cool, I'm gonna just chill here until some random kid shows up. Oh, hey, look, there's the one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. That's basically what I have to say about, Zorro. But, like, did you guys, say anything about Zorro, or what else you guys find cool about Zorro's character, or, what have you? Or any,
Want to go first, Caleb, or want me to handle?
Caleb's been muted. I think he's doing something, so you can take it from you, here.
My favorite aspect of Zorro as a character are probably the fact that sword style isn't just sword style, it's more of the animal style. Because every single one of his moves are named after some sort of creature. Like, he's got Tatsumaki, which I'm pretty sure is like wyvern or something. I don't remember what Tatsumaki is, but I know that it's the tornado one which was pretty cool. I know that he has I think it was the one sword style was Lion Strike, and then the two sword style was Tiger Claw. I can't remember though.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that all of his moves being named after animals is really fucking funny, because he's basically a giant animal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Now, was there anything you found cool about Zorro's character you wanted to throw in, Caleb?
What is it?
Was there anything you found cool about Zorro's character that you wanted to throw in?
Yeah. I mean, let's see, because I try to think. What's something that hasn't been said yet? Zorro. Okay, no, never mind. There's nothing I can think of at the moment. Like I said, I do like that he. Something I like about the Straw Hat crew in general was like he. You could clearly tell he's good at what he does, and he's like really strong, but he also like he's kind of an idiot. He's kind of a dope.
Yeah. Before we move on to Nami, was there any other like and before we move on to the whole citizenship thing, once we go on over Robin and Law, was there any like subjects you guys wanted to like cover before Nami, or just like the whole
Real quick on Zorro, took everything in me not to call Kuina down stairs as a part of the meme.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's really funny how the will of a D and just having a D in their name became such a meme. People will take random sentences, put a D in there, and then attach it to a one character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about Nami. So like first let's talk about like like Nami's like backstory. So during what was it like Arlong or not Thriller Bark didn't like Nami's like mom had to like sacrifice she had to like sacrifice something
Nami's mom?
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever met Nami.
No, like
From what I remember,
or like someone who like
Nami were found by shit. What is her name? Bellamy. She was found by Bellamy on some random island.
Yeah, not Nami's mom, Bellamy, like her own. I mean, well, kind of like
her adoptive
yeah
mom.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But let's see. So so I actually like with her like backstory. Shit. Okay. Sorry. I had like an awkward, unprepared moment. Oh right. Like you could like you could tell like the state of where she grew up with it actually like forced her to actually kind of be a navigator or whatever. But sort of like with like Faye Valentine, she kind of like grew up in a setting, or Revy from Black Lagoon, to where why she's like obsessed with money, to where because like she she grew up in an environment where kind of like money is like top priority, and obviously you have to like learn, be as good as in experiences like navigation, to where you have to like kind of like navigate where to find currency, because especially how currency is scarce in One Piece's world. I don't know if you guys I kind of recommended like watching Black Lagoon and Cowboy Bebop, or well, you already watched Cowboy Bebop, but
Cowboy Bebop was.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I actually and that's but but with like Luffy's but with the bonding of like Luffy's crew, like Nami becomes more heroic, and even more than like Robin, she became like the mother of the group. Hey, like the fucking Momonosuke fucking bat shower scene. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. When she let Momonosuke sleep with her. Okay, that was a bad joke, but we'll talk about that later. Oh yeah, and then the Miss Doublefinger fight. I actually like how this is like the first fight where like Nami didn't need to be saved or whatever, but like but also like her actually being adapted with like a new like fucking chimera, because like bear in mind Usopp just like upgraded like this chimera that
you keep saying chimera, referring to the climate attack?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like this is like like the thing that like fucking Usopp like just invented this thing, and so it took a lot of like for Nami to adapt. I
think it was funny how half of the attacks were fucking party tricks until she figured it out.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, the Toki Toki fruit is a cool fucking spiky brutal fruit. That's all I need to say. Anyway.
Oh yeah, one of the coolest moments in that arc, because we were talking about Zorro, and I meant to say like the part where he figures out how to cut through steel was like really cool.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was
fighting
cool.
Mr. One?
Yeah, Bones, I think his name is.
Yeah. Dad's Bones. Yeah, that was that was a cool book.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember the names of One Piece characters, but I can't for the life of me remember to pick up Sticker. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, like another sign to like Nami kind of like being like the mom of the group. Like I actually kind of like how in what was it episode 583. I forgot which chapter it was in the manga, but it was in Punk Hazard. Where like the giant children, how like Nami like rescued like the prisoners. I thought that was like kind of like a neat thing, and also Nami versus Ulti, like how you know like actually I was like rewatching this clip because to help prep for this podcast. Sorry, I'm sweaty. It's really hot in here, but how like fucking Nami lied to Ulti that Luffy was gonna become king of the pirates. I actually kind of like how because we actually kind of like see like Nami like can't stand Luffy, and I actually kind of like and kind of like seeing Nami and Luffy bicker throughout the whole series. I kind of thought that moment was heartwarming. And also my favorite comedic fan service moments. I'll ask Tim is like the whole fucking Sanji, the moment where Sanji and Nami swap bodies. Oh yeah, and then the Momonosuke fucking scene, just because like Momonosuke's dad was gonna disown Momonosuke just for scoring Momonosuke, but yeah, I'd be fucking envious of Momonosuke myself, especially if we know Momonosuke and Wano. But I'll let Tim and Caleb take the helm and what they think of Nami, and if they agree with my points on why Nami's great.
Yeah, no, I love Nami. Like she was my favorite character pre time skip for a long time. Um, but sorry, hold on, pull this over. But you know, so Nami, my thing with her is like I think she has a foundation of a great character, and there's a lot of great moments, but she only has triumphs against other women, it seems, and otherwise a man has to save her against other men.
Mm.
And also post time skip, she gets a little flat and kind of a like caricature of herself,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Um,
sorry. I said flat, and my brain immediately went, but her boobs got bigger.
Yeah.
yeah, I could have used better phrasing. That's true.
But I get it.
uh,
Yeah, I get what you mean. She became like a kind of a flat character to be.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say like she. I think she kind of like still retains her character depth. It's just like she doesn't have like a whole lot of like epic moments, and I feel like she's more so just like a crew member. Where all like this. Her most of her arc has already been settled to where most of the exciting stuff in screen time goes to the other Straw Hats. I think it's not really like her becoming Flanderized, in my opinion. Just more so
I
like
don't know, but I would not be upset if we got an entire backstory arc for Nami,
uh
where we learn where her and Nojiko like that lands that Bellamere founder. I wouldn't mind if we got some backstory on that,
no, I
because you
agree.
got a lot of people theorizing she might be a princess or something,
Hmm.
which like that'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, but maybe I'm just defending Nami because I really like how she looks in New World. But yeah.
You have always
Mhm.
just me.
But didn't you like the comedic Momonosuke scene as well, where Momonosuke was gonna shower with Robin and Nami, and fucking Sanji, Brook, and Momonosuke's dad got like really pissed, like you suck, kid, like which is like
I was a little uncomfortable with the whole "oh cool, we're okay with letting a child bathe with adults" thing, because
Mm-hmm.
like if it's your own kid, that like Nami just let some random little boy run in there and was like not at all worried about, considering how from that point his dad, for as far as was acting incredibly perverted, and had no thoughts crossed her mind that Momo might also be perverted.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
That being said, I do think it's incredibly hilarious how he managed to get in there anyway, while actively being a pervert, got away with it, and then caused Sanji, Brook, and Kinemon to all get. It was so funny for no reason, and then just like the smug ass smirk on his face when he turns around, like, "Yeah, I got you, fucker."
Yeah. Now, for it being problematic, I don't know. I think it's played too lighthearted, and I think it's played like too silly. Like with most like comedic One Piece things, for it to like I don't know, kind of like be amoral or whatever. Like I kind of disagree with that, but yeah, like well that, and I'm pretty sure it's like pretty established. Neither Nami nor Robin are kind of like sympathetic or whatever, or like are attracted to like Momonosuke. I mean, I'm pretty sure Nami did when Momonosuke became an adult, but like, but they didn't do it out of an attraction. More,
I'm pretty sure, like,
despite
you're right, but like,
mm-hmm.
she went like, "Oh shit, that's Momo." Mm-hmm. It like immediately went away because Momo went from, "Oh my god, he looks so hot," to acting like Momo normally does and bawling his fucking eyes out. And Nami went,
"Yeah."
That's also like 12 years old.
But also, I really do think with like I think only like I think like Nami only like let Momo shower with him both out of pity and to like spite his dad.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I guarantee that she's like, you know what? They're pissed off. This is gonna be really fucking funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me take a sip of water.
Wee. Sorry for disappearing.
Oh, no worries.
But what were we talking about?
We were talking about Nami. We just got done like talking about like the fan service moment with like Momonosuke or whatever. I'm fine with it since it doesn't portray it as serious and it's more silly or lighthearted. But
that's my problem with it. It's a very creepy like. It's a very it violates a lot of boundaries, and it kind of laughs at it and kind of normalizes it, and that's my problem with a lot of anime or manga in general. Is like it really normalizes non-consensual things like that, and it shouldn't be a gag. It should be like treated very seriously, and I think it's just the writer's fetish coming through. You could say it's an industry thing because Japan has a really bad industry around that, but
yeah, that's
the writer can choose to participate.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, there are some things that, my understanding, there were less perviness in the manga than in the anime. And, like, keep in mind, this is coming from somebody who has not touched a single page of the manga, but has watched through the anime at least twice. I will say that from what I have seen online and the different, like, things that people are using and, like, being like, this guy's a pervert, and then the entire comment section just defending them for hours using sources and shit. I do think that Oda might have had some perviness in his writing because, that's just how it was back in the early days. Like, sprinkling some perviness here, a little fan service here, and then all of a sudden everybody loves your manga. And then the anime took it and blew it out of proportion. That doesn't make it okay, but I know that I do know that it was a piece of the time, and that some people just old habits die hard, as they say.
Well, he's still doing it though. That's kind of the problem. Like, the way he draws what's her name?
Rebecca or
No. Well, yeah, Rebecca. Yeah, because she's 16. That's a good example, actually.
Mhm.
That's not the one I was going to bring up.
Were you talking about Bonnie?
Bonnie? Yeah, Bonnie. Who's 12 and
oh yeah,
wears a
oh
very
shit,
skimpy outfit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not defending Oda's, but I understand that there were lore reasons within universe to explain why it wasn't perviness and was actually there for a reason. For Rebecca, I know that she was wearing the least amount of armor possible so she could move as quickly as possible.
It's still gross. I mean, you didn't have to make her 16 if you were going to do that.
Mhm.
And, like...
Oh, true. To be fair, I know she's 16 until this conversation. But the Bonnie thing...
I didn't for a long time until I read it online.
Bonnie's makes more sense to me than Rebecca's does, solely because she is purposefully aging herself up to look a certain age in order for people not to treat her differently, but also, she is dressed this way because it gets people to do what she wants and she knows them.
Yeah.
She figured that out.
So
That's what she...
the writer doesn't need to include that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also if you kind of take consideration the Venus painting by Sandra Botticelli, sexiness can mean growth, and I think why Nami looks the way she does is mainly because of growth. But I don't know if Tim disagreed.
Which I'm not talking about Nami.
Oh.
Talking about Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Who is 12 years old.
Oh yeah, I personally kind of I'm for someone who's not really against fan service, I kind of thought that detail was weird, but
what?
For someone who's not really against fan service, I thought that detail was weird. Bonnie being 12, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. That's one of those things, I've considered dropping a lot of anime, and maybe I should go with this instinct. Because, Evangelion, for example, has a lot of that, or, you could read a visual novel, and it'll have that. Underage characters are, non-consensual scenes, which, underage is not consent, but, it makes that stuff, impossible to read or watch.
Yeah.
I mean, not as a defense to any of those anime, but you have to think about their target audience. If they're targeting people in that age range and making the character sexy to appeal to that audience, it makes sense. Doesn't, but it does make sense why it's there.
Well, here's the problem. Yeah, it is. It makes money. But it's pretty fucked up. And the way they go about it, because it's very implicitly it's not a girl showing off ooh, sexy. It's no, it's children doing it, or it's men peeking in a bathtub. It's disgusting, and One Piece really does have that problem, especially in a kid or a juvenile show, and something like that. That's even worse. It's very normal in shonen, which is very clearly a boys' genre. It's meant to be anyway.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute for just a second.
So, were there any other moments of Nami you like before we move on to Drumhead? Tim?
Oh, I loved how, the whole body swap gag hazard. I liked the entirety of it, not just Sanji in Nami's body. I did, however, like the fact that we see Sanji yelling at Nami to stop touching herself, and the thought of that to me is what the fuck do you mean the guy who likes the women is telling the woman not to touch themselves? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Within context, you understand what's happening, but like, you walk inside and you only know the characters, and you're like, wait, why the hell is this happening? And that's fucking funny.
Yeah. You know, like, what was it? Like, like, you know, and like that, like, you know, and like what's funny is that it's like very in character of like, you know, Sanji. So like if he had a female body, like he would actually fucking take full advantage of like feeling the parts.
That like both the anime and manga have proved that fact, but also considering how like over the top he went, not the moment he got in there, but the moment that Nami told him not.
Yeah.
It wasn't the fact that he immediately got put in the body. He figured that out and was like, oh my god, I'm in Nami's body. Figured out he was in Nami's body and was like, oh, I can do that. I can smoke now. And was like, and then Nami was like, hey, don't smoke. Don't touch my body. And then Sanji was like, oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, Sanji wasn't immediately thinking about that. He was like, god dang it, I'm not in my body. I need a cigarette. Not, hey, hunkers, I can touch the titty. Sanji can stand on business when he needs to, and if there's a woman involved, he's more likely to stand on business.
Mm-hmm.
I just do wish that the whole hard eye, legs turn into Danny Phantom tails squiggle thing, following women around with a little, you know, dialed back. Like, if they're going to keep the joke in, the least they can do is just fit with the two Straw Hat females that are on the crew that are of age and have been dealing with this for many years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just makes more sense to me that rather than having him be like, oh, I go after every woman, it's like, well, probably be better if he was going after the one woman or one or two women.
Let's go over Drumhead. So, you know, like
Drumhead?
Yeah.
Hopper's Island, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Because you say Drumhead and think of Drum Island and then Egghead. I'm like, wait.
Head. Yeah, I don't. Drumhead Island.
It's just Drum Island.
Yeah. I'm thinking
from what I do remember, but Drumhead is fucking hilarious because it's a head of a drum, which just makes sense.
Well, that, and I'm just thinking Star Trek: The Next Generation, and we can't go on to like too much about Nami, because then I want this like take too much space. But anywho, I actually kind of like how like you know like Drumhead like kind of like take you know how it's like infested with diseases. You know how much of a rarity like doctors are. You know, I actually kind of like I actually like how it kind of like explores how like diseases are like within One Piece's world. But Chopper, who was like literally like one of my top 3 favorite characters. I
think it's one of mine. I don't.
Mm-hmm. What I really like about Chopper, is like, his like empathetic, like kind of like hear everyone's nature is like, due to being outcast by his own kind, but the Dr. Hiruik, his empathetic nature reflects that of like Robin's empathetic nature reflects that of Dr. Hiruluk, which is why the Chopper idolizes Robin, but also like growing up, like his skills of curing comes from back when doctors were a rarity. Like, and also growing up with Dr. Hiruik and Dr. Kuhir, and how they kind of like shaped his very, being, that actually kind of like, impacted like his skills, and also why his like, protect everyone is due to his background. And like with all One Piece characters, how he's devoted to that, as well as like especially Chopper being an outcast by his own kind, reindeer. Makes him idolized by Luffy due to like Luffy's accepting nature, and Luffy's overly trusting nature. And I actually think it makes me think Chopper's a very well-rounded character, but also a great like kind of like paragon ideal hero because he's like he has a very protect everyone demeanor, but also why he idolizes the crew is different, and his skills and why he's the way he acts is due to a very unique environment, and that is a place where doctors are a rarity, as well as his like relationship with Dr. Hirulik and studying with and staying with Dr. Kuier.
I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy. Said Dr. Hirulik, I had no idea what you were talking about until my brain went, oh, he means Cloverhead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh!
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I gave him a Luffy-ass nickname. But, yeah, I like Chopper's whole character, because he goes from, oh my god, who the hell are you people? And he can't even hide right, so he's, like, poking himself out, and, like, a majority of him is being seen. And Nami just looks at him and goes, I don't think you're hiding right. And he goes, shut up! And then hides correct.
Yeah. What do you...
I'm not adorable, you jackass. Don't call me that, he says, and dancing like a happy little goober.
Oh, yeah, and he quickly gets over that after Drum Island.
Yeah, honestly, once Luffy shouted, hey man, you're on my crew. Let's get the hell out of here. You're my friend. Chopper was like, oh my god. That's what it's like to have friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is just like Caleb for real.
Yeah, and hey Caleb, so what did you like about Chopper as well as like Drum Island or any points?
Yeah, so definitely, obviously, but I think, honest opinion, like most of the trackers, but like,
Keep forgetting your...
well, I don't say it.
You're breaking up.
I know,
like
the first thought of
they're
was
like,
oh, you know, he would that, wouldn't he? Like, I wasn't thinking
wait,
about, like, the whole, like...
You guys are breaking up.
oh, okay.
Sorry, my phone is a little weird. I was trying to fix the sensitivity so it wouldn't get everybody whenever they talk in my side, too.
Uh-huh.
But I've not quite figured out how to get it that way.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. How it gets everyone, how it kind of picks up on everyone. You don't have to like worry about it.
I say next time we do this in person.
I wholeheartedly agree. If we end up
sure.
doing another podcast episode together, in person would probably be better.
Oh yeah, for sure. But what were you saying about Chopper? Not Chopper, Chopper, Caleb.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was saying, well, first of all, obviously he's cute, but the whole Straw Hat crew is very like cute.
Uh-huh.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. I didn't like 3 seconds. You were here struggling for like a solid minute and a half.
I tried to open my cart and he got it first fucking try.
It was really funny.
But anyway, so yeah, so Chopper. I think it's funny that Luffy. Yeah, go ahead. Or yeah, go ahead. You can do it. But I think it's funny the crew wanted to eat him. And I'll be honest. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Honestly, that is funny.
Yeah.
I did like that. Both Luffy and Usopp were like, "Hey, let's eat this guy," and Nami's like, "No, he's adorable." And then they get to Alabasta, and Nami's like, "Hey, Chopper, remember when I said we weren't going to eat you?"
I like his abilities pre-time skip. Got a really cool idea with the what are they called? The things that make him
The Rumble Balls?
Yeah, the Rumble Balls. It's a really cool concept. He literally roids up because he's a doctor.
Yeah.
Created himself a drug that boosts the abilities of his Devil Fruit, which is awesome. I do like that.
Yeah.
I am, however, as much as I love his pre-time skip forms, I think my 3 favorite forms of his from post-time skip are like my number 1 favorite, and I'm just gonna spoil it outright, is whenever he uses the Rumble Ball twice and accidentally becomes Tiny Grandpa. That shit was fucking hilarious. Favorite Chopper moment ever. I really liked Kung Fu Point. It made me really happy. He just took arm point and leg point and was like, all right, cool, let's kick some bitch ass.
Yeah, it was a cool idea. I don't like how he looks now, and I don't like the the way some of the points look. You want to go straight to his, or? But yeah, like I said, I prefer his abilities pre-time skip, but I still love him like post-time skip, and I think my favorite like post-time skip moment was when he was curing an incurable disease in Wano.
Just something only Chopper can do.
Yeah. But like pre-time skip, I'd probably have to say like I don't know. There's a lot of great moments with him, and it's hard to think like at this moment. One. Yeah, it's hard to think this moment, but because honestly, I didn't care for Drum Island as much as like some of the stuff that came next.
Was kind of a really funny villain.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, by the way, anything I eat becomes part of my body for the rest of the day. So if I eat y'all, I'm becoming gum bit. I do have a question for the both of you.
Shoot.
Since we're talking about Chopper. How do y'all feel about his monster point? Which do you prefer? When he couldn't control it and was a raging lunatic, or when he can control it and is kind of a dipshit?
Definitely when he couldn't, because he's a lot more intimidating.
Yes. It was like literally like what was it, like fucking like Dale Keown like Hulk shit when he couldn't like control it. So yeah. And also, his like, his form when he couldn't control it, it looks like something of like a berserk apostle. So, that. Anyway, so, we have Robin's arc, Enies Lobby, and Punk Hazard, and Dressrosa, and that's like basically it. It's like basically it. Or we can talk about Wano, but but since you guys haven't read much of the manga, for Egghead, I'm pretty sure there isn't much to talk about. So yeah. Anyway, so Nico Robin. So what I like about Robin is that the reason she wanted to join the Straw Hats, like especially for like fucking especially for losing her people, and especially like the past she had, joining the Straw Hats was like basically a new beginning, especially especially with like with her works of like the Baroque works, doing with Crocodile. And also I love how fucking violent One Piece gets, because like one of my favorite like action scenes with like Robin was like when Crocodile like pierced like through her stomach. I actually I know it's not an action scene.
You keep cutting. No, like you keep cutting out, bud. Well, like you were talking about that, and I'm not gonna lie, it sounded like you said when Robin was on Fuck Island and Crocodile railed her. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
I wish.
Like it censored out at the right moments, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, what the hell are you talking about?
Okay.
But it's just a cutting out. That was funny though.
Yeah. But yeah, like but after the Baroque works, and after like like the very fucking sick scene where Crocodile pierced like Robin through the stomach, like Robin wanted to like start a new beginning, and I actually like how there was like a new transition or a new side of her character, which is kind of like compelling. Like literally, like the Straw Hats, like each like moment, like when the Straw Hats like join the crew, they're molding into a new character entirely, which is what I liked. But also, huh?
When from what I remember, and I know Caleb was there when we watched it, so he can back me up on this and tell me that I'm wrong. From what I remember, when Crocodile stabbed Robin, she was like, "All right, cool. I want to fucking die. I'd rather sit here in this pit than see what's gonna happen."
I know that.
And Luffy was like, "Nah, bitch. You're coming out of this hole. You're getting on my ship. You become a part of my crew."
Yeah.
And she was like, "What?
That's what I'm.
Oh, leave me here, dumbass."
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about after that. I'm not denying that didn't happen.
Oh, my bad. From what it sounded like, you were like directly after her being impaled. She was like, "All right, cool. I want to live." I'm like, it's a couple arcs later, but good call out.
And also, like, you know, like, my favorite, like, moment was, like, and also, like, probably another favorite Robin fight is, you know, the Cavendish fight, mainly because of, like, the Katakuri, like, how, like, you know, she kind of, like, you know,
Cabbage.
Like, how she kind of, like, grabbed, like, Cavendish, you know, to where it almost looked like it, like, she was, like, tickling him. Like, I thought that was, like, funny. Here, let me pull up the panel. Yeah.
I like, once I figured out you were talking about Cabbage, because that is the name that stuck in my brain, I know the exact fight you're talking about whenever, during Dressrosa, when she was trying to climb up the stairs and, his dark personality was trying to murder her for funsies, and she tickled him, and he was like, "Haha, Nico Robin, stop that! What the hell are you doing?" And it got him to be like half cabbage, and the other half is whatever the hiffle his name was, because I forgot. Haruka, I think. It starts with an H. Cabbage's split personality.
Oh.
Yeah. And also,
I forgot his name.
Habuka?
And also, like, another thing, another funny Robin moment was, like, you know, like, when, like, in Dressrosa, when, like, the little people went into, like, Robin's suit. I actually kind of, thought that moment was, funny.
When the Tontatas were just, like, restraining her, and then all of a sudden Leo just pops out of her tits and is like, "Hello, giant woman! Fear us!" And I'm just like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. But, anywho, let's see. But also I really do like, you know, how with, like, fucking, now, for our final 2 points, I actually really do like, you know, Robin and, like, Law's arc, you know, especially, like, the moment where, when Robin asked Law, like, you know, about the government and how, like, you know, Law, like, you know, like, says, like, well, like, like, the government is there to, like, make more soldiers, and I actually kind of like how, you know, and I actually think, you know, like, there's, like, a lot of thematic similarities between, like, like, Robin and Law, to where they kind of, like, you know, make a good ship. I'm not really into shipping or whatever, but, you know, but but I actually just, like, you know, like moments like that. But it also kind of, like, but I'll have Caleb, like, carry the conversation, because, like, you know, because it relates to, like, how they both share tragic backstories, as well as, like, what was it, how it kind of relates to, like, One Piece's themes on, you know, citizenship. Let Caleb take it from there.
It'd be cool if we finished this conversation in about 15 seconds when I break into your house.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Cool. We broke it into your house.
Nice. Alrighty.
Should I hang up and
Let's just talking here?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. But we'll have you. So, like, so, like, what was your point with, like, you know, like, because I remember like you gone over like how like both like Robin and Trafalgar Law had like the same tragic backstory, but also like but then like to how they actually make a good.
Not necessarily the same, just like
or similar
levels of like tragedy. Yeah. Really messed up. Yeah, because Robin lost her whole family to a genocide, and Law lost his. Well, Law basically lost his whole family to genocide too.
It was technically a disease brought on by the government that was then turned into like an entire manslaughter, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, I hope the mic caught that.
I don't know if the mic's picking up half.
It is.
Saying.
Okay. Anyway, so. Not just their entire family, but they lose their entire life. Like everyone they knew for their life just dead, and then they were forced to work in like criminal organizations, with the worst people you could have added.
Hey man, Dofi's pretty cool. I like Dofi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You might have to turn off fucking voice canceling or something.
Yeah. Nah, this is fine. We're just talking to the.
Oh right, I was looking at the Discord thingy, but that is picking it up. And Discord would be. Oh my god, I'm so stupid.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad, we're done.
But anyway, so Law, Robin, government killed their whole family and everything they knew.
Fake.
What else was I gonna say? And it is a very like.
Whose do you think was more fucked up though? If you had to pick one.
Whose is more fucked up?
Because
I'd say Law having to watch his sister like slowly die, and then the rest of his family right after that is like pretty.
I definitely think Law has the trauma over the two.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick one.
Yeah.
Because Laws was brought on by work that the government was like, hey, mine this stuff, it's really valuable and pretty, and everyone wore it. But the government didn't tell them that it was giving them a disease. The disease wasn't actually a disease, it just made your skin look a little funny. People didn't like that, so they said that it was a deadly infectious disease. It wasn't. And then they ordered a bunch of soldiers to go to where Law lived, kill literally everyone, and Law had to hide under piles of bodies just to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then and also didn't you and also what was your point with One Piece going over the themes of citizenship?
I mean classism, not citizenship, but classism. Because the very big thing is it definitely is the government is bad. The government wants to kill you. And it will kill you if you go against its interests.
As Vicious D once said, the government totally sucks, you motherfucker.
Yeah. And then, the rich class, the celestial dragons, are a stand-in for, the government in a capitalist society. Where they are just grossly gorging on their wealth and treating their slaves like cattle, and they think of the entire world as their cattle herd, and it's just very, very reflective of real, systems today, America's and Japan's and all that, and that's what Oda is criticizing. It's a very good
you guys can have donuts.
Do you want one?
Nah. Donuts.
It's not the best. One Piece can be a little racist. It can be misogynistic, or it can be, it can be very problematic at times, but when it commentates on like class struggle, that's where it's really like it really shines, and Oda at least knows what he's talking about.
So the final 2 points I would go over is like Dressrosa. So like what I actually like about fucking Doflamingo's like backstory is that even though like fucking like Doflamingo grew up in poverty, and he kind of like didn't he have like a really like shitty father who like wanted to like kill him or like
No, from Dofi was a celestial dragon. His father was like, we're just like them. We're all normal people.
Oh, right.
I don't remember what the R word I'm thinking of is, but he basically gave up his title and his celestial dragonship to go be a normal person.
Yeah.
And then whenever everyone figured out there were celestial dragons, because Dofi was acting like a, celestial dragon, they all were like, well, if they're just going to be normal people and the celestial dragons won't help them, then we can just kill them. So they tied him and Corazon and his father to a building and were lighting the building on fire after killing his mom, I think? Or did his mom die from a disease? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure like the disease, like
I thought the peasants like burned their house down.
I remember the peasants burning their house down, but I don't remember if their mom died in that fire or if she died before the fire.
Well, even before like Doflamingo's mom's mom died, as well as like before he became rich, like even though he's like even as like one of the celestial dragons, I'm pretty sure like Doflamingo. What I see like a lot of like misconception. He was fucking pure evil from the start. He is
basically, if Kid Buu didn't exist, Doflamingo would be evil incarnate.
Yeah. What I like about Doflamingo is like it's not necessarily that he was born evil. It has more to do with the fact he was born in privilege. And had it all taken away from him, which created resentment,
Yeah.
And then when he
that's
his
why
father and tried to go get it back, they were like, "Are you kidding me? You rebuked your status. Get the fuck out of here."
Like, I don't remember too much from Dressrosa to like remember if his like father was like a good person, but
he was
extremely good person. Like
for a celestial dragon, at least,
yeah. But I do know for like Doflamingo, like the wealth like just brought out the worst to him to where he just flat out had no empathy, even as a kid, and so like even though like his backstory and his transformation is fascinating, but still I always like to think the dude was like pure rotten and pure evil.
I forget what the sticky man. I forget what his name was. The one that was guarding Sugar.
Oh, the creepy one with the tongue. Lelo. I don't remember his name.
Booger Man, I'll call him that.
Yeah.
No, actually I won't because that's kind of offending you, sorry.
No.
This sticky weird guy. He finds young Dofi and says, "Hey man, you are a celestial dragon and you have great ideas. Here's a devil fruit and a gun. Go kill your dad." And Dofi's like, "Dude, that is the greatest idea since sliced bread." Eats the fruit, takes the gun, kills his dad.
He'll angle that a little.
Tries to go and get back his celestial dragon ship, and then gets kicked out, as I mentioned before. But whenever he goes back, from what I remember, him, the Booger guy, and I think Lao Ji was there at that point, but I don't remember who the other like Don Quixote family members were. I don't remember where all of them were at the time, whenever they joined. I know that the children, Baby Five, and the Buffalo joined later. But then Law joined too.
Yeah.
But, I am spiraling out of control. Hold on. I don't remember.
You can have. But yeah. But yeah.
Do you have a mason jar? This is for afterwards, but do you have a mason jar?
I do not.
Damn.
But I will say, one more last point I wanted to go over was before we end the podcast is the Wano arc. I love the Zorro versus Kaido fight. Especially given how fucking powerful Kaido is. Zorro actually fucking, practicing Nine Sword, the fucking Nine
Service style.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah. Also, fucking Oda going, full rule cool. But anything you want to go over, Wano, specifically Luffy versus Kaido.
Before we get into Luffy versus Kaido, the Zorro versus Kaido.
Yeah.
Zorro is the second person to strike fear into the heart of Kaido.
Yeah.
Because he felt the presence of Kozuki Oden both within the sword and Enma? Is it Enma?
Enma's the sword, yeah.
Okay, Enma, and then Zorro himself. The demon energy, that shit was radiating off of Kozuki Oden in their fight. I'm like, oh my god, that shit's awesome.
So, Kaido and Zorro.
Does he make a cut on Kaido?
Yeah, he does. He makes a slash. He pierces his armor. That was the big thing.
I remember, I think he cut him on the spot that Odin cut him too. But I don't remember if that reopened the wound or if it made a deeper scar. I can't
He
remember.
cut him a new wound.
He did?
Yeah. If I remember it correctly. I could be wrong, but we can look it up later.
Yeah.
Or
we
can't
I take
now,
back,
if we really
One Piece actually got violent in Wano. Gory, fucking, Hokuto no Ken, level.
I do know, wasn't there a character who got, decapitated or something, and then in the anime they censor it?
Yeah.
I know
yeah.
that Whitebeard got his face blown off.
Yeah, I was, so fucking mad.
That one, yeah.
The anime cut that out.
I think that the One Piece, the remake that they're doing, when it inevitably catches up to the Great War, I think they're gonna blow Whitebeard's fucking head off.
Please fucking do. I want to see that now.
I love Whitebeard. He is he might be one of my favorite non-Straw Hat pirates. Just because of the meme. It's so good. It has no he's just shouting that the One Piece is real, but the emotion, the grit, the context, it's just absolute cinema, if I may. But
yeah,
that man is 10, 11 feet. He's a big fucker, right? This man will pull up with an entire fleet of ships and go, "You and me, we are boxing right now. My men taking on your men. You, me, in the streets right now." And he will win that fight 9 times out of 10. The only reason he lost is because he was sick.
Yeah. I think I already talked about all the points I wanted to talk about. Any points you wanted to throw out?
Okay. There's something I wanted to say about Wano or Kaido, I think, but I can't remember what it was.
Zorro versus Kaido.
Yeah, Zorro, Kaido. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the power curve at that time was very sudden with Luffy and Zorro. It feels like the rest of the Straw Hats can't really compete the same way.
Sanji can.
Yeah, Sanji, I don't know if he got a power up yet.
Sanji and Jinbei can. Jinbei, we've not really seen much in action in order to see where he's at on their level.
Well, no, but Zorro and Luffy are clearly Yonko level though. While
Sanji's definitely also Yonko level if you give him the Soba Mask suit back, but also if you let him use his Germa abilities, my man will beat your ass into oblivion.
Probably.
Because he no longer has to worry about the fire from his Ifrit Jambe.
Well, I thought he was already using it, though.
Well, yeah, but it turned off at some point after Whole Cake. he had it, and then he lost it, and then he got it back in the Queen fight, I think, and then he lost it afterwards. If he figures out how to tap into that and actively uses the Soba Mask thing, I don't remember if he threw it into the ocean or if he kept it. I don't remember. But if he uses the suit and has access to all of his Germa abilities, he definitely is Yonko level. I don't think he is without them, solely because I don't think he's been given a significant showing of strength without those abilities.
Also, I like that Nami got the Nimbus cloud. Zeus. That's
I
it.
love that.
Zeus.
Yeah, wait, is that the one that can like transform, like like sentient?
Big Mom's,
Yeah.
Big Mom's homie.
Yes, I fucking love that weapon so much.
I forgot they were literally called homies. That's funny.
Yeah.
I honestly hope that Big Mom comes back and fights the Revolutionary Army and Sabo just steals Prometheus. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like my favorite Nami weapon is like what's like the thunder like golden staff from New World? What was it, like Chimera or?
It's a climb attack.
Climb attack?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's from what I remember, the blue climb attack and the yellow climb attack are the same one. It's just an upgraded version because it's the New World.
Why do I keep on like confusing climb attack with Chimera? Who cares?
What do you mean by Chimera? Spell it for me.
Chimera.
Okay, it's Chimera.
Chimera?
Yeah.
Like the mythical beast that's a bunch of creatures?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought that's what you were saying, but I didn't know because like sometimes people will invent new words for shit. I do that all of the time.
Yeah. But you guys like any other points or are we good to end the podcast?
How long have we been going?
An hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say we're good to end it. Like, I feel bad that it was mostly us trying to remember what the show, what even happened. But I kind of knew that's what it would be because it's a very dense show. Like it's very
Yeah.
To be fair, I think only one of us actually went back and watched clips and made notes.
Yeah. I mean, hey, for anyone who would call us like tourists or whatever, I fucking dare them to actually try to remember intricate details.
We're adults with jobs.
Yeah. Also on the fly, so don't worry.
We're adults trying to get jobs.
I'm about to say, Caleb, I don't think either of us have jobs.
Thank you, unemployment crisis.
Yeah, but
God bless America.
Thanks by lightning fuckers.
But, don't take it personally. I don't think anyone cares. But, yeah, that's Booger's Drive-In Theater Podcast, Episode 3. And I'm definitely planning on having my mates, there soon. Again soon. And, but let me know if you want just any project. Somebody might bite them into gaming reviews or whatever. But, yeah.
Anything GameCube, I'm down.
Alright, yeah, sure.
If you want to do any sort of analysis of the Luffy versus Kaido fight and compare it with the Luffy versus Lucci fight, I think that'd be a fun project to do.
Oh yeah, I'd be down with that.
I personally love the Luffy versus Lucci fight so much more than the Luffy versus Kaido fight because while Luffy versus Kaido gave us Gear 5 for the first time, it showed off so many cool abilities. Luffy was so much more of a menace against Lucci. The scene where he turns Gear 5, looks down, looks up, you just see the red eyes, and then all of a sudden, Lucci, fear on his face, look back, you see Luffy, arm cocked back, ready to deck this man straight into hell.
Yeah.
You forget, Luffy's the bad guy here. The Marines are the good guys.
Yeah,
in accordance of the One Piece world. From a civilian view, prior to Vegapunk's big announcement that the government's kind of not exactly as good as they seem to be. Bullshit. He, shit.
Sorry.
No, I forgot what I was going to say. It had nothing to do with you. My train of thought just died. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's I guess we'll end the podcast here. You want to say any outros, or?
One Piece is political. If you say it's not, you're dumb.
One Piece is a good show. You should get anyone you can to watch it. If you have to use one pace to do it, it is completely okay.
Yeah, and also like, hey, it's not as long as you actually think it is. You know, the manga actually takes pretty quickly. Don't let the length intimidate you. Anyway, toodles.